What's up guys, Tenacious here and welcome back to another Fallout 76 guide. Today I want to talk to you guys about Formula P, how amazing it is, and as always, the quickest and best way to farm it. Let's go. So as some of you may know, I've dipped away from the PvP scene yet again. It just seems to be getting worse and worse with cheaters, stackers and all the toxicity that comes along with that. So been hammering the PvE again, but with that I found myself still using a lot of my PvP stuff for PvE, and that includes Formula P. But before we jump right in guys, you know the drill, bash that like button and beam that subscribe if you enjoy detailed farming guides and also any sort of PvP as and when it may happen. I do drop regular Fallout 76 videos, but it will also help the channel and me massively as we move towards that 500 sub mark. Also guys, I'll leave timestamps in the description for anyone that wants to skip straight to the farming part. But if you do that, you'll be missing out on my amazing Scottish chat. So moving on, for anyone that's still here, most of you guys probably know what Formula P is, as most of you probably use it in PvP already. But today's all about an easy way to farm it, for anyone new to it or anyone in short supply. But more importantly, how amazing it is for certain PvE weapons as well, more so for some of our heavy favourites. Personally for me, it's the 50 cal. But it's also amazing for the likes of the minigun, gat laser and anything else with a large spread, which helps get that sniper accuracy. Which brings me to my next part. What exactly is it and what does it do? So here it is guys, the almighty Formula P. Without any debuffs, it gives us plus 5 charisma, plus 3 luck, but let's be honest, unless you're away chatting up assaultrons, you don't need the extra charisma or luck for what we're going to be using it for, and that's the improvement to gun accuracy for 5 minutes. And of course, you get longer using Chemfiend perk card, and it does stack up to 5 times as far as I'm aware with certain weapons, but when us heavy gunners are using stabilised, we don't need as many. Also, in order to get the recipe to craft Formula P, it's pretty simple. You can either trade for it or complete the Project Paradise event over at Arktos Pharma, and surprise surprise, that's where we farm all the Kaleidopore we need to craft it as well. Now I'm not entirely sure what the drop rate for the plan is, but all I know is I've got 2 spare plans in my box and I've only done the event a handful of times since moving over to Xbox, so I reckon it's a pretty decent chance. So what do we need to craft it then? From the top, antiseptic. Pretty basic material that you can find in abundance all across the wasteland in the form of, for example, Abraxo, industrial solvent, turpentine and many more junk items. Then Bloodleaf, ash rose and Kaleidopore. And remember guys, before farming any flora, it's all about that green thumb perk card to harvest double. And with that, in Arktos, we can farm up to 58 Kaleidopore per day. So to match that, we also need 58 ash rose and half of that in Bloodleaf. Easy enough, right? Nah, not really, when you don't know where to look. Hence, I'm doing all the elbow grease. But before we get to the farming guys, let's take a closer look at Formula P in action. Yeah, it's definitely all about the Formula P. Fucking love this stuff. Right, it's time guys. Time to get farming. So I've made up this little map to show you guys the route that I take to do this. For me, I like a linear path. So I always start from the bottom and work my way up and round. So first we farm the ash rose from Welch, then move along to mineshaft 1, then to mineshaft 3 and up to Lewisburg. By doing this, you can collect exactly the amount of ash rose you need using this route. Then we head up to Arktos Pharma, grab all the Kaleidopore, then we zoom across to the Wayward and head south down the river for an abundance of Bloodleaf. So without further ado, let's go. So there we have it guys, the quickest and easiest way to farm your Formula P. And before we wrap things up, I just want to quickly talk about that little incident with the ash rows. So after analysing the content, the ash rows that didn't register, you can actually see me picking the flora from it if you examine it closely enough. So I've got no idea why it didn't register. In fact, I do have an idea. Bethesda. Anyway, per run, you can easily do this farm in about 15-20 minutes. Obviously dependent on load times and whether you spend time taking out all the mobs, etc. But I always do this on multiple toons once every so often and craft up hundreds of it that can easily last me for a minute. And another thing to note when crafting guys is the chemist perk card that allows you to craft double the quantity and then you're super duper on top. So let me know in the comments guys what weapons you think works best with Formula P, or your favourite weapons to use with it. Anything else besides the usual explosive gap plasmas might give us a little inspiration to try it with other weapons, who knows. But that's it from me guys. As always, thanks for watching, hope this was helpful. If it was, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to keep up to date with any new content that I drop. Have fun, stay safe, I'm Tenacious, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.